Jesse Solomon, me and Evan are so excited to talk to you because you and West has helped quench the thirst in the summer house. Y'all are keeping it hot, you're keeping it spicy, and you're keeping it entertaining. How does that feel?
I mean, it's truly an honor, especially coming from you two.
Ah,
I mean, how kind. Yeah, it's been great. It feels great. I love West. We love everyone. It's been easy.
Has the love kind of been overwhelming? I don't think that the Bravo fandom
No.
has been like I truly don't feel like the Bravo fandom has been this excited about newbies maybe in the history of ever. So I imagine it must be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, don't worry. They hated me at the beginning, so it wasn't
Wait,
all.
wait, really? What was the comment that you got the most in the beginning? Like,
Well,
why do people hate you?
I think everybody just loves Paige and Craig, so when I showed up and was like, came in a little hot, people were like, this player hitting on married chicks,
You
or
did
girls with boyfriends.
come in flirting with the girl who's taken singing opera, which was a lot at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
lot at first, but the onion has been peeled, and I feel now you and Paige are in a good place, and we're starting to get to see more of like your 360 personality, which is why I think everybody is falling in love with you.
Yeah. I mean, I can only be myself, so I hope you like me. But yeah, it's been fun. I think I just naturally, I say that I shouldn't sometimes. I like to find out where the line is and then just like tiptoe on it, maybe cross it a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, it was all in good fun. I didn't mean anything by it, and I'm glad we can all be friends.
Yeah, it's so great to see that everyone's getting along currently on the show. Well, and as it pertains to you, like you seem good with everyone, and I'm glad that there is support among your castmates because this episode this week was really emotional for you. Wes was
Oh.
definitely there for you as you were sort of feeling your feelings about your appointment. My heart broke for you, especially as you had to sort of like go through the motions of like a dinner and getting called a trash bag and then a tarot card reading and you're just like I don't give up about any of this because I have an appointment on Tuesday and I'm just trying to get some good news. So what was
Yeah.
that experience like for you and what's it like sort of watching it play back on the show?
Yeah, I think just going through cancer kind of puts everything in perspective. So when Ciara calls me a trash bag, I'm like, that's rude, but it's hard to care because I know I'm not a trash bag. And that's kind of like, it brings me back to that conversation I had with Kyle early on in the season when he was hammered and we were talking in those chairs. And I was like, I know I'm great, but I hope everybody else thinks so. And everybody's like, what a cocky guy. But yeah, it was interesting to have a cancer scare on the show. It was, I mean, you'll see more as the next few episodes come out, but I was freaked out for real.
Yeah, and was there a part of you, because of course we only have seen what we've seen so far of you, but when you went into the house that day, you weren't opening up, you just were kind of opening up to West about the appointment and everything. Was a part of you kind of like, I just want to like compartmentalize and have some fun, and that's why I don't want to like let everybody else in, or like you didn't want to feel like a burden? Because I feel a lot of kind of what you were unpacking in the tarot card is you were kind of like, I'll handle myself. I don't want to cause a problem for anybody, even though it wouldn't really be a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's just being a guy a lot of the time. Like, you just kind of bottle up your emotions. For me, like, I don't want to scare anybody unnecessarily. We're just here. It's a share house. We're having fun. We're partying. I don't need to, like, bring everyone down. And I was hoping that, I've been through so many of these checkups that I think I'm just like, freaking myself out. It's like when you WebMD your cough, like you're gonna think that you're fucked.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping that I was being over dramatic and it was all gonna be fine.
It was nice that Wes like could pick up that something was wrong with you and he checked in with you. Why did he feel like a safe space in that moment to open up a little bit and make yourself more vulnerable? Because yeah, like in the tarot card reading, she's Alyssa's like, you don't make yourself vulnerable. So it was interesting that that came on the same in the same
Yeah,
week.
yeah. So we were coming home from the boat, and I was in the car with West and Sierra, and it's kind of things are far apart in the Hamptons, so I'm just like sitting there, holding hands, talking, whatever, and I just started thinking about it and kind of not spiraling, but like it was on my mind. And I was just like looking out the window thinking, and they were just like, what the is
Having
going
a montage
on?
moment?
Yeah. They're like, are you good, bro? Like, quit being such a weirdo. And then I got out of the car, and Ciara walked inside, and Wes was like, are you good? And I think we kind of thought we were like far enough away from the house that we were off camera and the audio couldn't pick us up. There was actually a new audio engineer that week, and I was like praying to God she fucked it up. But they got it. They get everything.
That's why I love how blind I feel like both you and Wes went into Summer House, because you thought audio wouldn't be picked up on the premises of the house. Thankfully, the audio was just very sincere and real and raw and not super explosive, which is a benefit that who knows if you'll make it through the rest of the summer. Beneficial with that. But I like how you and Wes always have each other's back, and I feel like in upcoming episodes, you might need to support him a little bit, because the girls are kind of eyeing around him for his flirtatious and texting and Ciara drama. What are your thoughts on him having the textual energy with other girls while him and Ciara are chatting?
I think it's fair game because they hadn't discussed it. You know, you hope that when you find the right girl that it doesn't need to be discussed maybe. But it's a fine line, and it's different with every situation. So they are good. So I don't need to like get inserted into that situation on the show, but you'll have to wait and see how it unfolds.
Wait, Jesse, I have a theory about this week's episode, and I just want to see if you agree. So there's that moment where Wes gives Ciara permission to give you a little smoochie during the pool situation, and Ciara giddily exclaims, "I got a cool boyfriend," which we loved. It was a moment, and I think that hopefully it pushes their situation further. So like maybe you were like very I don't know, beneficial in them actually making a move. But speaking of that, I was kind of like thinking, was that West's way of maybe settling the score in his mind because he knew that Lindsay was talking about the textual relations with other women, and so he was like trying
Definitely
to like
not.
in front of it.
No.
Okay.
No. He was just trying to be a cool boyfriend. I mean, you guys got to understand, like, West and Ciara were hanging out every night. He had been such a good friend to me, and he's such a genuine person that I was just trying to support him however I could.
Because it wasn't physical, their relationship. Do you think if they made it physical earlier on, it would have really solidified what they were? Or do you think that was just one of the few things?
I think the second that you start progressing a relationship, people start asking what's next. So they were really f***ed either way.
Well, they weren't. But yeah.
But I think Ciara has been through this before, and she just wanted, I mean, at the reunion, like, I really understood her perspective even more. I was curious to hear what she had to say. I knew she was going to have a good point, and she really did.
Do you feel like the reunion created space for Ciara and Wes to flourish as a couple, or did it do the opposite?
You're going to have to watch the reunion, brother. It's good. It's juicy.
Because this was obviously your first reality TV reunion at all. Did it live up to your expectations, or did you kind of go in, you're like...
Yeah, it was hype as shit. It was so dope. I was sitting in between Paige and Danielle, and like right when we walk in, early in the morning, barely had your coffee, they're just going at it.
Oh.
And I was like, holy shit, this is wild. I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about. It's like some drama I was not even privy to. And then Carl and Lindsay start going at it, and I was like, wow, this is going to be a long day.
Oh my God. Yeah, you must have a whiplash sitting between Paige and Ciara, like the founder and CEO and Miss Paige. Like, I'm sure that they were just going at it the entire time. Do you feel like they left the reunion in a better place and space?
No.
No.
Probably worse.
Okay.
Oh,
But
God.
I'm glad they were able to air things out. Like, I didn't know there was such huge beef. But
Because I feel like Danielle, she kind of set off Paige in that one scene about her relationship with Craig, but I think Danielle kind of did the rest of the season trying to lay a little bit low-ish. Was that kind of her vibe?
Yeah. The drama between them is like didn't even unfold on the season. Some of it did, but Paige wasn't even offended by Danielle saying what she said. It was like other things that Danielle's done.
Oh no! Wait.
Woo!
But please tell us just a little bit. What did not make it to air between Danielle?
Oh, you guys, you're just
Oh.
grasping. I can't. You know
You're
I
fun to
can't.
grab at.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't.
Well, what I feel you can talk about the end of this past episode, where because usually I'm used to seeing when Carl and Lindsay are fighting, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have a Kyle freak out, do you feel that Amanda set him to like a breaking point with that? Do you think he kind of just had too much time in the sun because he really was going off about Amanda in a way I haven't seen Kyle do in a minute?
Yeah, I think it just kind of brought up a lot of emotions and feelings that had nothing to do with that situation. Like, he obviously should have just been immediately a supportive husband. And I think he would say himself that he regrets that. But he just wants Amanda to be a part of Loverboy. And he can use all the help he can get. He's working hard. So... but Amanda deserves to be happy, and however she needs to do that, she should pursue those things.
I mean, I always just want Kyle and Amanda to be happy. Did they did they have a happy moment at the reunion? Like, did you feel like they were able to sort of have some
Yeah.
Okay.
They people always ask, they're like, yeah, Carl and Lindsay, but like Kyle and Amanda, and I'm like, no, you don't get it. They're just like each other's person, and you kind of just feel it when they're together. I think the show gets reduced down, and you just see like all these terrible fights all the time. But I think because they are so close, they can fight that hard. And it's not like you're worried about them breaking up type of fight. Whereas with Carl and Lindsay, it was like super awkward all the time. But this is just like a bickering couple.
All right.
Yeah.
And before we let you go, because we talked to you for so long, and we'll be talking to you at the live show, which we'll be excited about. Have you been having any luck finding your person? How's the trash bag dating going? Have you found a garbage can to put the trash bag in?
You know, I've been dating less.
Okay.
I've been spending time in Miami and dates here and there, but not like the 3 or whatever times a week I was over the summer. I was a busy guy.
Exhausting.
Yeah. I'm still looking.
Okay.
I'm looking hard. Not too hard, but when the time is right, it'll happen.
Is it harder or easier dating famous now? Because like now people know who you are, and I imagine that might have its like perks or maybe downfalls.
Yeah, I mean that's a big question to unpack. I will say that I never had like a huge issue getting dates, but
Yeah, right. I
The
mean, look,
humblest man on Bravo, which is, yes. Oh.
but now it's like even more people want dates, and you don't know their intentions. So yeah, I'll find out. I don't feel very famous yet, so I'll let you know maybe eventually.
All right. Well, me and Evan can't wait to double date with you and West at our live show. It's going to be so much fun.
Hell yeah,
We're going to get a
brother.
little messy. We're going to have a great time.
I'm excited.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.